Okay, so I'm making this video because a lot of people ask me how to get a double bass sound or an upright sound from this bass. That is an Ibanez SRH 500F fretless. What is good about it is that the feel and the size and everything is like an electric bass, like a normal bass, but the sound, you get that acoustic quality and the sound is picked up with piezo. This bass has a particular sound because it sounds like an electric. But because you get the sound with the piezo, you get a lot of dynamics. The attack is very high. So it's kind of like an acoustic bass, but with the electric quality. So the thing is, if you want to get a double bass sound with this bass, you have to take in mind three factors. One is the strings, the other is how you play it, and the third one is some way to mute, how to control the sustain. The double bass doesn't have a lot of sustain. With this, you can control that. If you get a flat wounds with very good quality, I recommend La Vela because it doesn't sound very metallic. There's some strings that when you play, the attack on sounds very metallic. The La Vela, I put them on my precision bass, but these ones are JHS, and they are very old, so they doesn't sound very metallic. They sound a little bit more from La Vela. They're good, I don't know. The thing is, if you got a really good quality flats that doesn't have that metallic sound, it's more like a mellow, that's one thing. The other thing is, when you play, you want to make sure to play like a double bass. Let me show you. When you play electric, you play like this, no? Like. Right? Like if you play closer to this, it sounds more deep. If you play here, you got more highs. There's more. So that's the thing, you have to play to the neck, actually on top of it. The main thing is to play like a double bass with this part of the finger. On an electric bass you play with the tip, you want to play with this. You know, if you play like this, here. If you play like that with the side. With more meat, it's start to get in the double bass sound, you know. But it still has a lot of sustain. On the double bass you can play with both fingers. I recommend playing with one because one thing about the double bass is it's a bigger instrument and the strings are higher on the neck, so when you play it, it's harder than to play this. You know, like I can play here like really fast, but on the double bass, it's really hard to do that. You have to play a lot of years to get to that point, and you don't see too many double bass players playing like that, you know. On big bands, they are mainly comping, you know. So if you play with one finger, you actually melodically play more like a double bass play. If I want to play fast, I make myself to play it with one finger, so you get the double bass sounds. It recreates the way that you would play it with more difficulty on the double bass. With that in mind, you can do both fingers, but when you do it, don't overdo it. Like. The other thing to get less sustain, that's what I use these things. You can buy a car sponge and cut it to the size that you want, but I found this on the audio interface that I bought. This is where it came from, inside of this. So I cut the size and I got the perfect size. It's 1.5 centimeters tall and the other part is just to cover the strings. This is the same, just wider. With this, you get more sustain than this one, but it's basically doing the same because double basses have like a variety of sound. You have to find out which player do you like. There are a lot of players that play, and the sound is different. So if you want to like more muted sound, very short, I recommend to put it bigger. And if it's not that short, you can play with this. There is another thing that play a factor on the sustain, that is where do you put it, If you put it closer to the bridge, you get more sustain. You put it here, you get less. And you can play with this and get more or less sustain. There is a point that you cannot pass because you start to hear harmonics, but I would say like until here it's fine. I like this more because you get less sustain. I can put this one closer to the bridge, and that way it doesn't get like those weird harmonics, because if you put it a lot over here, at some strings, some notes, you can get the harmonics. With this specific bass, the Ibanez, the better double bass sound that I get is with the tone open, because it's more acoustic. But when you have this open, completely open, you need to take in mind a lot of your playing, because you can get a lot of buzzing with the strings, or the attack. If you start to playing like this, like a normal bass, start to notice, and you have to take in mind a lot of things. With the tone open, you get a better sound, but you have to be very aware of how you play. But on the other hand, coming back to the double bass players, you can roll the tone and get the more deep. But like this. So that would be it. I don't know if I explained myself really well in the video, because it's the first one that I do talking. So I hope you enjoy it and have a more clear understanding of how to use this bass like a double bass. Cheers.